Howdy saxophone geeks. So I've been trying to shoot these videos in the same place, but the floor is really creaky. It's louder on the video than my talking. It kind of sucks. So anyway, I'm gonna have to find another place to shoot these videos. This is a failure because I recorded a first playtest with the new New York Meyer from Babbitt, the 100th anniversary New York Meyer alto mouthpiece that we picked up. And I lost all the footage. It became unreadable, and I gave up and deleted it before I thought, oh, what if you just turn the phone off and restart it? Maybe it'll... But I had deleted the footage. The thing with the computers and all the technology is, you can spend 3 days on the phone with Apple Care and Verizon Wireless, and, well, why isn't this working? And 3 days later, all they can tell you is, well, it didn't work. Try again. So I'm tired of that kind of crap. So when I come up against a wall like that, I just kind of kill it and start over. So that's where we are. So this will be day 2 with the mouthpiece. I played it yesterday on some teaching, and I had some time while in between students, so I was able to play it a bit. Definitely like it better with the harder reeds. The 4s, a good 4. I'll show you what I'm talking about because I have some reeds ready to go in the water. One of the big disappointments yesterday when playtesting the mouthpiece for the first time is one of the very first things that happened was the ligature broke. This is the Meyer ligature that comes with the mouthpiece, and in some ways it's a really neat design, and this could actually be a good ligature. But they phoned in the threads. These screws, they're very thin. I don't know if you could see that. And they're very lightly threaded. And initially I thought, well, these threads feel good. Well, it stripped almost immediately. Under even a light pressure. And when I compare this to the screw in a normal ligature, it's almost a third thinner, just very unsubstantial. I don't understand what this company thinks is going to happen, but I would imagine everybody is going to break this, because by the time you get it tightened onto the mouthpiece with different sizes of reeds, there's a fair amount of pressure on these screws, and it broke them. This lasted 3 minutes. Very disappointing, because otherwise it's kind of a cool design, and it could have been a good ligature. All right, so we're starting with the number 3 Javas. These are a whole size, not even a half size, a whole size smaller than what I normally play. My normally alto setup is a 6 Meyer-ish. I have a clear Ted Klum, and I have a New York USA that was refaced. They're both about a 6. And I play those with a 4 Java. I have a bunch of those over here as well. This is a 7. I'm hoping to play a bit of a softer reed. I jumped to 3.5, but after having played the 3.5s, I think they're way too soft for me. I still overblow them way too much. Maybe with an 8 or a 9 mouthpiece, that might be different, but you don't want to jump that far as far as your setup is concerned, because that's dangerous for your chops. So I'm going to play the 4 number 3s, see what you think of the sound of them, and then we'll go to our number 4s. We'll talk about those when we get to them. So here's one of them. See what it sounds like. There's something interesting about the really soft reeds. I miss playing like that in some ways, but for me, when I get up to the palm keys and the altissimo, it's not responding correctly. Again, maybe with an even more open mouthpiece, that would be different. So here's our number 3. It kind of thins out up top. I would tell my student right now to pull up his neck strap, his or her. Now, one thing I'll say is, in this weird room that I'm in, a lot of hardwood floor, higher ceiling, the mouthpiece, this is a forgiving room. When I got to where I teach yesterday, the tone was a little more nasal than I was happy with. In this room, that's a little covered up by how much the room sort of rings and sings. Every room is different, and that's a part of trying mouthpieces, is finding out what it feels and sounds like in different places. This is a decent read, though. Today the threes are feeling better than they were yesterday. Two more threes to go. Let's try another one. See, that one's really soft. And it affects the tone too. For me, the tone is a little strange, nasal almost. Yeah, not the best of the threes so far that we've had out of that box. Responsive. But that's the threes. I'm used to fours. I mean, of course the three is going to be more responsive, obviously. So then what does that tell us? It tells me that I've been playing on hard reeds for a long time and I'm pretty used to it, and maybe it's not the best habit. But it's worked for me for a long time. So those were the threes. Let's try the fours. Now, with the fours, the first four I threw on here was a good reed. It's this, where is it? It's here. This one, nope, that's not it. I'll find it, it's here. This one. This one is marked 2 star. I have a numbering system, and this is a fairly recent reed, but it's pretty soft for a number 4. It's responsive, it's got a good sound. The thing with hard reeds is that the bad reeds really are bad. So this reed played pretty well on this mouthpiece, but the next 7 reeds out of the box might not. And that's the problem with the hard reeds. You know, this one plays on this mouthpiece, but that doesn't mean any more of them are. So we're going to try a bunch of them that I have here that I've been playing on the other mouthpieces. Here's what this one sounds like with the good 4. Almost. All right. Up top, because it's such an open mouthpiece, it's requiring a lot of pressure here, and that's what I'm trying to get away from. It's producing less sound up top, just like the threes were. The difference is it's requiring more pressure, but I'm not getting more sound out of it. dead side. Hey, there's one. That's a hard reed to play. It doesn't mean it would be any better on a smaller mouthpiece. It's just not a great reed, right? And then that's what you're dealing with as you're trying the mouthpiece and figuring out if it fits you and it works for you, is you're dealing with how it responds to the bad reeds. A mouthpiece is usually going to play good. If it's not a dog, if it's not a real piece of trash, it'll play good on a soft reed or a really good reed. Question is, the hard reeds that are bad, then it's like knocking on a wall with a piece of wood. Screw up the bridge. I don't think that was right. Back to the drawing board on that one too. All right, so interesting. Let me give you a final thought on this. Like I'm Jerry Springer. Here are my final thoughts. A couple of things. You know, I've been playing a long time, and I play a lot of jazz. I've played alto all my life. I've been through a lot of mouthpieces. You know, for me, this is okay. But I can make any mouthpiece play. The question is, when you're with it for a while, when you're living with the mouthpiece, over time, how do you feel about it? How does it work in all the different situations you play in? How does it work with a bunch of different reeds? I have 2 saxophones, altos. Is it going to work on both horns? That's what we don't know yet. As far as the condition of the mouthpiece, I mean, I really feel like this was a used mouthpiece when Kessler sent it to me. I mean, they seem like they're above board, but this has got genuine ligature marks on it here and down here. So maybe they play test them, and that's how it got scratched there. But, I mean, as a customer, just send it to me as it is, and then I can send it back to you if it sucks, But the guy said it was new, but this is not what a new mouthpiece looks like. So I'm a little bummed with Kessler. I probably won't use them again because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem like what he told me is the case. If they're just opening them up to look at them, there shouldn't be a bunch of ligature marks on it. If they're play testing them, he should have said that. But then you couldn't, I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't really seem like it seems like someone played this. Anyway, that's sort of the deal. I kind of like it. We're going to pick up some 3.5s and see. I'm not going to return it. I'm going to keep it. At the very least, if I end up not loving it, I just had a really great experience with Eric Giefenhagen. He did the metal tenor piece. And, why not, for what I'm into this for, who cares? I could send it to him and say, hey, can you make this thing a little more presentable, as far as facing, make it more of a professional facing than what the factory does. But we'll try and play it as it is. We'll get some 3.5s, and we'll see if we like the resistance on that side of it. So there'll be some experimentation involved, and I'll try and keep you involved with some videos. I hope you like these kind of videos. I know I talk a lot, and these take kind of a long time. I hope you like watching them. And I plan to do more of this stuff, a little more content for the page. So stay tuned, share it with other people, share it to the Mouthpiece forums. I don't know, whatever people do now. Sorry about the creaky floor. I really like shooting in front of the records, but this is really kind of crappy. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Saxophone Geek. Get your play on. Remember, it's not about the mouthpiece, it's about shedding, practicing, and listening to the music. But nonetheless, these are a necessary part of our deal. So I guess I'm a hypocrite. Anyway, there you go.